Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so Sasha, Tracy, and Olivia. Tracy goes off on Sasha because she made the eggs in a way that she didn't like. I think she wanted it scrambled or fried or something like that. And she didn't like it and she went off on her. And, you know, here's the thing. I get that she's excited that Lulu is back and she wants to sit there and make like the perfect breakfast for her. But she was extra about it, right? And Sasha got to a point she was like, you know what, F this. And she pretty much was like, just make your own damn eggs or something like that. And she walked off. It was something a lot lamer than that, but pretty much she said what she said. She walked off. And, Olivia was like, what the hell are you doing? You know, at this point, Tracy was like, we can just sit there and just get somebody else. When I wanted, from the start, we want to sit there and get an agency. Olivia's like, you do realize it's the holiday time, right? Find a way to get Sasha back. Otherwise, I'm going to sit there and tell Monica, and you're going to have her as a headache. So Tracy goes to the barn where Maxie is they're trying to convince Cody to go to the Christmas party. He doesn't want to go because him and Sasha are cousins and everything. And Maxie's like, "Oh, just get over it." And I'm kind of like, I don't think that's something you can just get over right away. But she does want him there. It's like just find a way to work it out and come to the party. Tracy gets down there, and Tracy tells them about the little argument, whatever. Snitcher saying that Sasha was being all erratic and just, you know, she was just acting weird and just off. Maxie had to sit there and inform her, yo, listen, this is the anniversary of her child's death. And at that point, Tracy was like, ooh, and she felt like shit. And the thing is, even at my day job, you know, there's just times I'm just like, I really don't want to be here. But regardless of whatever mood I'm in, I try not to sit there and bring that into whatever person I'm dealing with. Because I don't know what they're going through, right? Now, I'm not just saying I'm always the most jolliest person, but I do try to sit there and treat each person I come in contact with a certain modicum of respect because I don't know what they're going through, you know? And that's the thing. She had no idea. She wouldn't have acted that way if she did. But here's the thing, though. When Sasha is talking to Sunny about Liam's death and everything like that, and she talks about her situation. It's like, normally I would let something like that slide. But I'm like, you don't have to. And first of all, that's not something that anybody should do. And I get it. A lot of times we work at jobs where somebody acts crazy and they cross a line. I get that. Certain things I don't want to sit there and say you got to put up with. But, it is what it is most of the time. Most jobs now is going to be super great. Hell, even sometimes doing YouTube, I come across a bunch of nasty, disgusting comments, and it just comes with the territory. It is what it is. Even on a review, people don't like an opinion I sit there and say, and instead of being like, well, we can disagree to agree, or they can give me something, a different perspective that I may use in my next video, they decide they want to go off and take what I say personal, even though we're talking about fictional characters on a fictional show. It is what it is. So I get that. But in reality, Sasha doesn't have to deal with that. Sasha has so many other options. She could work for Carly. She could work for Nina. And to sit there and be dealing with shit from Tracy, even though from a deception point, she has so many other options. She's sitting there talking about, well, I need this job. Yes, you need this job. But to be honest, it's not like if you get fired, you're gonna be out there on the streets or whatever, going to the local church for like meals and stuff like that. Like you're going to be fine in the long run. Sunny, hell, even Sunny has legit businesses that you can sit there and work at. So, her being there to say, well, I felt like I quit. It was like you should have quit a long time ago. Hell, why would you even sit there and want to work for the Quartermaines dealing with Tracy? But Tracy did find her, and she did apologize for her behavior. And although Sasha accepted that apology, Sasha's like, we got a bigger problem. because this is a pattern. And if we're going to move forward, you're not going to be using me as an emotional punching bag. And, Tracy was like, hey, listen, you've been through a lot. I respect that. I respect what you're sitting there saying. We're good. And she pretty much is like, I'm not going to be doing that moving forward. But Tasha's like, listen, if you want to give me constructive criticism or whatever, that's fine. But the way you're coming at me, that's not going to happen moving forward. Now, the party situation when she threw a party for Cody and everything, I think if Sasha would have gave her at the very least a heads up, or Monica, somebody a heads up, Tracy wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if Tracy would have sat there and acted the way that she did, because on some level, I can kind of understand where Tracy's coming from. Yeah, this was more about Cody than anything else, but like, you throwing parties and stuff like that, like, yeah, okay, it's your day off, but you're using our place, like, at least give us a heads up. And the thing with the borrowing of money from Michael, to me, that was still unacceptable. So I understood why Tracy actually came at her like that. But those are the type of instances I can understand. That was completely unwarranted. So but she did sit there and, apologize and, so at the end, Sasha sitting there talking to God or whatever you want to sit there and believe, and you see a guy come into church, he takes off his hat, and sit. You know, you know, Sitwell ain't done. I still say that Sitwell could have just shot Jason, and that would have been it. And there was nothing that Jason would have could have done. But Sitwell likes to play games. That's why we sat there and had to unfortunately go through a whole week of those two playing cards. But whatever. Um, Now Lucky gets to Liz's house. Rick is already there. Rick is working on a case. They go back and forth a little bit, and long story short, Rick is like, "You need to stay away from the hospital because you already got two deaths, and you were present at both of them in a sense. You oversaw a lot of stuff." It's like, "I don't want to. You got to do it." There's a couple of things that at one point it seems like they kind of get into a bit of an argument, like Rick and Lucky. But at the end of the day, even when Rick leaves, Lucky's like, "Oh, you can find another lawyer." First of all, are you going to be paying for this other lawyer? No? Are you a lawyer yourself? No? Then you should probably just. I don't see you sitting there pulling out some dough to recommend another lawyer. Like Liz says, hey, listen, I'm not going to find anybody better than him to sit there and represent me and have my best interest. So, you can sit there and say what you want about Rick, but call him Slick Rick for a reason. Um, Now, Lulu. Lulu has woken up from this 4-year coma and had the same energy for people as though life didn't move forward. She pulled that ish with Nina, and Nina showed a lot of restraint and a lot of grace. More grace than Lulu deserved. Hell, even people that don't like Nina was like, yo, listen, Lulu, you doing too much. You're doing too much. And now she's coming at Brooklyn, talking about, oh, well, I thought that you and Dante was going to be together since you try to break up my marriage. And I'm like, did you? First of all, okay, so you want to bring that up, right? You want to bring up the whole Brooklyn try to seduce your husband or whatever because he was paid. She was paid by Carly, but she didn't have that same energy for Carly. When you throw a temper tantrum like a 12-year-old girl and you wanted Carly to sit there and come in and run interference, you didn't give her that same energy. But you're going to sit there and give Brooklyn that energy. Brooklyn's like, yo, listen, I have a husband. Things are a lot different, and she says pretty much the same thing that that Nina said. Listen, I get you was in a 4-year coma, but the world did not stop spinning just because you was a slave. Now, to tell you the truth, the more she started acting like that, the more I'm just like, Maybe you should sit there and take your ass back to bed for like another 4 years. You clearly woke up on the wrong side of bed. So, and I know that's kind of a lame joke, but like I'm being dead serious. Like you can probably take your ass back to sleep. And then she sat there. She called her self-absorbed and everything like that. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then when Dante came in there, Lou was like, she said something very bitchy and she walked off. And Dante was like, she's looking for her daughter and everything like that. But like Brooklyn said, okay, go and find her. But get your ass up out of my goddamn face, though. Maybe you should be doing that. Now, there's a point where they're talking, and this is after Dante was like, "You gotta show a little great." Dante, shut up. Um, they talked about some sort of summer, and this was after. Okay, whatever this summer was, this was after the whole, debauchery or whatever of her being paid by Carly, which of course she doesn't have the same energy for. So they keep doing these hints like they did something. And then when Maxie comes in and Maxie, tries to run interference, we're like, well, we gotta give her grace, blah, 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 blah. No, we don't. Um, Brooklyn Smith is talking about how she's been trying to get pregnant and it's nothing. And this has been going on for a while. She feels like there's something wrong. Now, if something wound up happening, and she either had a child and it didn't go well or whatever, she had to give the child for adoption. Maybe that's why she's having so many issues. Who knows? Um, Anna, Anna. I'm trying to be somewhat nice, and I do use that word strongly. But if I gotta sit there and deal with another, guilt trip of I'm guilty for this and I'm guilty for death and da 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 da, I'm like, just stop. I'm so glad that Jason was like, you gotta stop doing this. And he said something that was like very metaphoric, and it was actually pretty smart about don't dishonor his choice by trying to make it seem like it was a mistake that you hired him, because it wasn't. He wanted to do it, and he knew the risk, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, it sucks. And Sonny came in, and Sonny came in just to be like, hey, listen, I didn't do it. And then it was like, well, that's not your style. And Sonny did sit there and say, hey, listen, need my help. I hope sit there and try to, find who did it. Since Anna's still looking at Sonny like he's public enemy number one. And of course, she's sitting there talking to Jason and saying, hey, Jason, I need you to take the lead on Find Valentine. You want the enforcer, that the guy who enforces and kills people for Sonny, that you had a different energy for. You want him to sit there and find Valentine and Charlotte. Okay, I got it. I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page. Cody went up meeting up with Lulu. They talk and chat for a little bit. Dante gets there. Um, Marty was ran to his, as he said, baby sister. It was like Jason abducted me, he kidnapped me, and Anna was there and he questioned me, and I'm like, oh, I don't see any bruises, I don't see any bullet holes. You don't look like you're all banged up. I'm sorry. Why are you running to her, tattletelling again? I'm so confused. And even Laura was like, okay, but you're fine, and you kept their word, and you're good. So I'm sorry. What's the problem again? I mean, I get it, the abduction and everything like that. But I'm like, bro, fine. Your baby sister is gonna sit there and talk to the big bad mean people to make them not be so mean to you. Okay? Do you feel better? Um. Now Marty suggests using Cyrus because Cyrus still has old connects, but after that whole thing with Cyrus and that they're trying to move Lulu somewhere else for reasons that I still don't know. Laura's like, nah, we good. We gonna use Anna. Jason meets up with Spinelli, and Spinelli is determined to sit there and find Charlotte. And Jason's like, hey, listen, I will get Charlotte back, and I will make sure that Valentine's not a problem. What does that mean, Jason? Want to elaborate on that a little bit more? Anyway, I feel like that's about it. I can't think of anything else, but if I missed anything, write in the comment section below. Now, tonight I'm not going to be doing a live stream, but I will be back tomorrow. Usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And of course, I'll be sitting there talking about all the shows: General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.